viral news source.
Court is calling 2023 CR 3133B, State of Texas versus Nicholas Ray Ramos. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense. All right, and are you Nicholas Ray Ramos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Boyd looks like she's about to bring the... Let's see.
All right. The defendant entered a plea on October 23rd of guilty to the offense of aggravated robbery. According to the plea bargain agreement, there are no applications and punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 16 years in the prison. And there are several cases that are being taken into consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Your Honor. We have, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense, I note in the PSI report things that your client has said, which is that he has no idea where these charges came from. And specifically, what he says in the PSI report, and the reason why I want this on the record is because I want to make sure that your client actually wishes to continue with this plea. What he said, as to the instant offense, the defendant stated he was at his home on this.
And a PSR report from Google, it's a PSR or a PSI, is a pre-sentence investigation report, often abbreviated as PSR or PSI. It is a document created by the United States Probation Office after an individual has been convicted of a felony in a federal court. And I guess in this case, this is a state court, but let's keep going.
This date, when the victim reached out to him and wanted to hang out. He stated that he agreed to go over to his home. He stated that he got an Uber to the victim's home and a friend ended up going with him. He stated while at the victim's home, he offered him some clothes and money. He stated that the victim knew he was struggling and offered to help him. He stated that the victim even allowed him to wear his jewelry. He stated that he...
Really quickly, why is this young man in jail or in court, but he has his jail clothes on, but why is he the only one wearing a mask? The judge doesn't have one, neither does his attorney or the prosecution. Let's see.
Left the location and went to a nearby park. He stated that he did not end up going back home. He stated that the victim sent his friend some money so that they could Uber back home. He stated that later that day, the victim contacted him and told him that he needed his items back. He stated that he ignored the victim. He stated that he later found out that he had a warrant for this case when he attempted to make a payment to his bondsman for another case he has pending. He stated that he called the victim and confronted him about the allegations. He stated that he was later arrested for the instant offense. The defendant denies the allegations of him using or having a gun, but did admit to keeping the victim's clothes and other items.
And that is correct. It is in the PSI report, and I'll ask the court to also focus on page 5 of the victim impact statement. So, Judge, there was multiple felony cases that were plea bargained in this case that the state took into consideration and dismissed, and that's why we went forward with this case. So, my client has stated that he doesn't want to go forward with this case. There were many concessions made by the state of Texas on this particular defendant, so that's why we want to go forward.
All right, Mr. Ramos, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Nicholas Ray Ramos.
All right, Mr. Ramos, do you wish to go forward with this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You do not want a jury trial?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any witnesses from either side?
No, Your Honor, we were informed that the witnesses made PSI statements that were contained in the PSI.
All right, then any witnesses, defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear argument. State.
Judge, there are numerous cases that have been taken into consideration in order to reach this case, or in order to reach this plea agreement. I know that the defendant is young, pretty early in his life, but in that short amount of time that he's been an adult, he has racked up numerous arrests and various cases, again, were taken into consideration.
The prosecution is not playing with this young boy. Let's continue watching this.
I think that it's the nature of those other charges and the fact that even while on probation or deferred on those charges, he still was picking up other cases. My understanding is that he was on probation when this all happened. So we would ask that you hit the cap, Judge, of 16 years.
All right, defense.
Yeah, obviously my client is very young, and he'll admit that he has made some serious mistakes. He has a young daughter now that he has not even had a chance to see at this point. One of the things I want the court to consider, and when the court pronounced a sentence in this case, the co-defendant in this case was sentenced to 8 years TDC. And we think that's appropriate given the circumstances. Yes, my client was involved, and I shouldn't say what.
I think he's about to get the whole chicken. I mean, this does say that Judge Boyd delivers a devastating sentence, but it really sounds like this kid is a problem. Let's continue.
Was involved, but has been charged with other cases. The district attorney's office made a commitment to dismiss those cases, and they have done so. Judge, with respect to this particular case, the complainant's father has stated that the victim in this case was not hurt, but he did not get his property back. So in light of that, his age, we'd ask the court to consider an 8-year sentence, which is what the court saw fit when the court pronounced sentence on.
Now, if his attorney wants them to consider an 8-year sentence, I think he's about to get the whole chicken. Let's see.
On the co-defendant in this case.
Judge, if I may, the co-defendant was sentenced in the 187. There's a stark difference between that co-defendant and this defendant. That co-defendant did not have nearly as many cases that were being taken into consideration. So that was something that drastically changed what was happening in that situation versus this situation.
All right, and just so everyone knows, and I know both attorneys know, I look at cases individually. So, Mr. Ramos, is there anything you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I've been incarcerated 8 months. I know I did what's wrong. No. Whatever I did, I know it caused me to come in this courtroom today.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I know whatever I did caused me to come in this courtroom today, and I know it caused a lot of harm to people's families and stuff. I had more than enough time to think about what I've done. I just try to get back home to my little girl. That's it.
All right, so how old is your child?
2 months and a week and a half.
So why didn't you think about this beforehand?
Comment on it.
I'm sorry?
I have a comment on it, Your Honor.
Why are you out committing crime? I don't understand. And I'm asking you these.
Okay. Young man, I know Judge Boyd enough that when she asked you, why didn't you think about this before you were out committing crimes? That means you're about to get a big portion of the chicken. So, let's see what you're going to do, Judge Boyd. I mean, let God have mercy on your soul, young man.
Questions, because I'm trying to figure out what would be the appropriate sentence for you. The state and the defense will tell you. State and defense, they come up with their agreements. This is their agreement that I can sentence you up to 16 years in prison.
Ooh.
So I'm asking you these questions so I can make a decision on what to sentence you to.
Wow. So, based on what you say to her, young boy, that's going to have influence on how hard the hammer is going to hit. Let us continue.
And that's a lot of time because the range of punishment for this offense is, because they've capped it at 16, is 5 to 16 years. So that's what I can sentence you to. So I'm trying to figure out what is your thought process and why you're out here committing crimes and violent crimes.
Violent, oh my God. What did this boy do? I guess I missed it. But let's listen.
I mean, did you wake up one day? I always think of people who appear before me when they were in elementary school. Did they wake up one day and decide, hey, I want to be a criminal?
Right.
I think you woke up one day, you were listening to too much rap music, and you said to yourself, oh, I think today I want to be a gangster. Well, that does not work in this world where people are waking up, going to work, and trying to support their wives and their children or their spouses, or if they're just trying to make it day to day. That does not work.
So I'm trying to figure out, where did you go in your life that you decide, hey, I want to be a criminal? And I'm looking at.
We trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure it out with you, Judge Boy, because this little scrawny kid looks like he should have been playing soccer. But I want to figure that out too. I'm gonna work with you, Judge Boy. Let's figure this thing out.
At your criminal history is outrageous for a person your age.
Okay, what'd he do?
And I don't know if the misdemeanor, when you were placed on deferred adjudication, in that case, I don't know if something could have put you on the right path from there.
You was in these streets turning up, huh, boy? You was turned. Thought you was a gangster, huh, boy?
We have the burglary of vehicles, not vehicle. There's a lot going on. And then there's an assault bodily injury case that's pending in County Court 15.
What?
So I'm trying to figure out, what is your issue?
You gotta be stopped, boy.
I guess I had a bad crowd around me. I ain't really had nothing for a little while. I have no structure.
Oh, don't come to me with the structure thing, because there are a lot of people who don't have structure. And when you mentioned the bad crowd, I guarantee you the person who got 8 years, when they said they were running around with a bad crowd, they were talking about you.
Yeah.
So since you brought up structure, what do you mean you don't have structure?
I had nowhere to go. I had no financial support.
How about getting a job?
I had nothing to get a job. I was old enough to get a job, and I had more than another chance to get a job, but I have no ID. I have no social security, none of that. I done lost all that.
So why didn't you have an ID?
I lost it while I moved out the house a little while ago.
So why are you moving out the house? Don't want to.
I can tell my Judge Boyd is about to give him the business.
Follow people's rules.
Yes, ma'am.
So
She might have had a bad day today because she's got an extra layer of seriousness on her. But let's check it out.
your lack of structure is because of you. It appears that somebody was trying to give you structure. And then in the PSI report, it says that
You know nothing about a lack of structure, boy, because I was on my own at the age of 14, kicked out of the house where I lived with my sister, and my parents died, both of them, by the time I was 8. Okay. So pretty much by the time I was 8, up until now, I've been having to make kind of adult decisions. And you know what I never did? I never hurt anybody, assaulted anybody. I never got a felon. And I am employable right now. What is your excuse, boy?
That you were going back home. So what home was this you were going to?
I was really staying with my friends and my girl at the time.
Where? With who? Who's all in the house? Her parents?
Yeah, me, my girl, her mom, her little sister, her older sister, and her brother.
All right, I still don't understand why parents allow children to live in their home and play house.
We do not understand that, boy. Why did your parents do that? Huh?
Just one moment.
Uh-oh. Okay. She read something that was really bad. Let's find out.
Sorry.
Uh-oh. She's still reading. Uh-oh.
All right, so you can continue.
Whatever she just read has completely pissed her off to the highest pissivity. Look at this face. Look at this stone face, like I'm about to hook you up to the jumper cables. She about to put you on the jumper cables. Let's back up. Look, oh my God, she pulled her glasses up. Look at that. Let's watch this. Okay, let's watch.
My parents allow children to live in their home and play house.
Watch this.
Just one moment.
Oh! I have never, ever seen her do that before. Let's watch. This ain't good.
Sorry.
I have never seen her raise her glasses up. He knows. Your attorney knows. That was not good. This is about to go all the way left, boy. All the way. She is reading whatever she's reading. She's like, you did what? You did what? Watch.
All right, so you can continue.
Oh.
I don't understand why they would either, but I guess it was. I don't know. I guess it was because I was with her daughter and we were having a baby.
Okay.
I've never seen her give someone that death stare before.
I guess it was. I don't know. I guess it was because I was with her daughter and we were having a baby.
Okay, sorry. You need to put the mask down.
I don't know why they would let me stay at the house either, but I don't know. I don't know. I was with her for a little while, and I guess I had a good relationship with her family.
But you still haven't explained to me why you're going out committing a bunch of crimes. Because you were placed on deferred adjudication. And I will tell you now, whenever you're placed on deferred adjudication now, it's different from when I first started practicing. Back then, it was you're on your own. But usually they will say, oh, you don't have an ID? Let us help you get your identification. Oh, you don't have this? Let us help you get this. So your response to not having your identification or having anything was to throw up your hands and start committing crimes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So I'm trying to figure out what to do with you.
Look at that look on her face.
Do you deserve 16 years?
No, man.
Oh, why not?
Oh. Oh, Lord. She needs you to explain to us why you don't deserve 16. Why should we not give you the whole chicken? Looks like you're hungry by your actions. You're committing all of these crimes. Let's hear what this response is going to be to us. Huh?
And the question I'm asking you, your attorney will tell you, I ask a lot of people these questions. And so I want to see where your head is at.
We ask a lot of people these questions, and we need to see where your head is at. But what's the got your tongue? Well, you better start meowing, buddy.
What do you think you deserve for committing an aggravated robbery, stealing from somebody who was trying to help you by giving you clothes, by giving you food, and according to you, paying for your Uber to and from their house?
Were you listening too much NBA YoungBoy that night? Huh? Were you listening to too much of that gangster rap? Huh? Listening to Big X, Big Plug? Huh? Let's hear this. Look at her face. That face says whatever you're about to say. It is going to be like a hair trigger. Say the wrong word, and you're getting a full course meal. The whole chicken. Let's walk.
Years.
Oh, okay. You're saying 8 years, because I'm not even going to interfere with attorney-client. So why do you think you deserve 8 years for pulling a weapon on somebody and taking their...
She laughed. Okay, that is really not good.
Oh, okay. You're saying 8 years, because I'm not even going to interfere with attorney...
Oh, Lord. Why you put us in this situation, boy? Now, me and Judge Boyd, we can give you the business, but let's hear this.
attorney-client. So why do you think you deserve 8 years for pulling a weapon on somebody and taking their items?
Yeah, why?
Let me put you into this situation so you can understand better. Do you love your girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you love your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's say your girlfriend and daughter are at their home minding their business,
Yeah, let's say
and
that.
one of her girlfriends comes over because she has a baby and she needs milk and all of the, maybe some clothes for her baby. And your girlfriend say, oh, my daughter is now 2 months old. I have some 1 month old clothes. Here you go. Here's some clothing. Here's some money for you. And then that friend's like, oh, thank you. And then that friend pulls a gun on your girlfriend with your baby there and takes her items. What do you think that person should deserve? And that's an aggravated robbery that she would have just committed. And the range of punishment for that is 5 to 99 years or life in prison. What do you think that person deserves?
It's get up time. No pun intended. Whatever you say, given that scenario, boy, I be trying to warn y'all before y'all come before us. I done told y'all to stop playing with Judge Boyd and me. Let's hear this.
Not talking about you, talking about the fact scenario where your girlfriend's best friend comes over, pulls a gun on her and takes items.
Yeah.
What do you think she deserves?
Yeah, what do you think? Be careful, boy. You are about to create your own sentence. Be careful. Be very careful. Because as you can see, my judge and me, we are not in the mood for this.
Your sentence,
I'm sorry, what?
more than 8 years.
More than 8?
Did you see what Judge Boyd just did? Look at her. Look at her face. Watch her lunge forward.
Your sentence.
And by the way, that is what she read a while ago when she pulled her glasses up, and then she sat back with that look on her face, like ninja. What? Let's hear.
Your sentence.
I'm sorry, what?
More than 8
Right
years.
there.
More than 8 years? Well, why? Because you know what? Maybe she doesn't have her ID. Maybe she's not able to get a job. Why shouldn't she just get
Hey, y'all, this might be a Thor hammer coming out on Judge Boyd. You might get the Thor hammer. Let's see.
8 years? And you know what? Maybe she's running around with the wrong crowd. Why shouldn't she get 8 years? Because she's with a bad crowd. She doesn't have her ID. She doesn't have a place to stay. She has a baby to take care of. So why shouldn't she get 8 years for pulling a gun on somebody and taking their items after they tried to help her?
Yeah, why? You are writing your own demise letter. You are giving her what you're about to get. And you already said over 8 years. That's not a good boy. You should have said, Judge Boyd, I just made a mistake. It was out of my mind, and it was wrong. Forgive me. But let's hear this. Uh-oh.
But she's just running around with a bad crowd. She just doesn't have her ID and she just needs items for her baby.
Yeah, like you.
So why shouldn't she be allowed to just pull a gun on your girlfriend, take items that
Did he pulled a gun on somebody? Yeah, it's a different situation.
she wants and then come before court and say, please just give me 8 years or please just give me deferred adjudication because I'm running around with a bad crowd. I don't have my ID. I don't have my social security card and I need money and I don't have a job. You don't want that person to have 8 years because they pulled a gun on somebody you care about, right?
Ma'am.
That's what you've done in this case. You pulled a gun on somebody who was trying to help you out, and they have family members that care about them.
Wow.
So, do you still think you deserve 8 years?
Oh.
I mean, you may want it, but do you deserve it?
I ain't ever seen her pull out our cup and drink from it like that in the middle of court. She ain't never pulled our cup out like that and palmed it like a basketball, put it to her lips, and sucked that straw like, oh, I got something for you. Them jumper cables. We're about to hook you up. Oh! Jumper cables.
No, ma'am.
Really?
Right, so what do you think you deserve?
Oh,
Your Honor, may I on his behalf?
No, just 1 second. I want to know, what do you think you deserve?
yeah, attorney, you ain't got nothing to do with it. You keep your mouth shut. This between us and him. And by the way, you need to get this part right here of your hairline that's hanging over your face. Get it trimmed up so we can actually see your brows and your whole face. And you know, push it back some, like right around like here. A little L on it. And really make it pop. You gotta make it pop. Okay, but let's get back to the young boy.
Your Honor, may I on his behalf?
No, just
No. No, you may not.
1 second. I want to know, what do you think you deserve? Honestly, looking to your heart, what do you think?
And an attorney, yeah, see how he's got his back, like you guys kind of have a similar cut, but his is back the way you can see a little of his forehead, little of his eyebrows and stuff right there. His, he made it pop. So I need you to make yours pop because that's getting on my nerves and don't you interrupt us again. You got it?
Think you deserve
Yeah, what do you think?
for what you did to a friend who was helping you out?
Oh,
10, 12.
I'm sorry?
Oh,
10 or 12.
Why not the full 16?
oh.
Because it's just too much time? Is it because it's just too much time for you and you can't imagine doing 16 years?
You know, if you were smart, you should have never committed these crimes because I can't imagine doing one. 16. But let's see what we're going to do about you. Let's see if we're going to adjust you. Hold up. God. This is bad. And my judge is not playing.
All right, any questions?
I don't have questions, Your Honor. I would just ask the court to consider.
You know, if Judge Boyd was a poker player, she would probably win a lot of money unless there were paid people at the table that were like me that can read her face. This is not going to go well. I hope you understand that, boy. We're going to put you on the jumper cables. Shock you back into reality, really make your brain pop. Okay?
Somewhere in the 8 to 10 year range.
Did you see my judge? Did you see us smirk at you? Watch the smirk that we give y'all.
I don't have questions, Your Honor. I would just ask the court to consider somewhere in
Right
the 8
there.
to 10 year range.
Do you see how sinister she's about to get? Let's go.
Judge, my client did not have family structure growing up. I think that's what he was trying to tell you. He couldn't even remember his mother's last name. His father didn't give him much support. He was out on the streets by the time he was 17. He's 19 now. So when he committed this offense, he was basically homeless. He didn't have any place to go. And I would suggest that's probably why he committed these offenses.
Now, I just told you I was 14 when I was pushed out into the world. 8 years old, my mama and daddy died. And I had guns and have guns, and I've never pulled one on anybody. But let's listen to this, though. Let's listen to your excuses.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I mean, it's definitely wrong. Okay? But he is very young. He's not the smartest kid in the world. And I think he dropped out of school in 7th grade.
All right, why are you dropping out of school? When did you drop out of school?
7.
Why?
No, that's early. I dropped out at 9th, but I did get my GED and I put myself in college. But let's go.
Mask down so I can hear.
I don't know, I had gone to a fight in 7th grade and I just never went back to school because I was going to alternative and feel like going back to alternative.
All right, they sent you to alternative school because there were issues at what we would call regular school. So that's, people just don't go to.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna throw him a bone. Just boy, let me interrupt you. Okay. Yeah, he dropped out at 7th. I dropped out at 9th. I do understand not having a stable household in your teens like me. Like, yeah, my whole family turned against me, the people that were left, and they threw me into the world before I made it to 18. I can understand how that could be traumatic. But my friend, you can't go around thinking you're like some type of Biggie Smalls Tupac gangster throwing guns in people's faces. Like you're from the suburbs or you're from the south side of Chicago. That's not gonna work.
Alternative school because, hey, let's send them to alternative school. Usually there's some incident that has happened at regular school and you get sent to alternative school, be it for behavior or something else.
And it was a fight.
So it was a fight. So you got sent to alternative school. And when you're sent to alternative school, it's not forever.
It's not.
So you decided not to go back to school. Why not?
Look at that poker face, but kind of a little smirk on my judge's face. I mean, we don't like this boy. We don't like it.
Do you know in Africa, I watch a lot of TV and watch a lot of documentaries. There's
Hey, this is about to go left. She done mentioned Africa. And she's going to say, I have not seen this before, but probably something about the kids over there who have no opportunity that would die to be in America. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's hear.
students in Africa who walk to school. They don't have any shoes. They don't have any desk. They sit on the floor with one sheet of paper. They don't.
And I've been to Africa twice in 6 countries. In the poorest countries, I've been to Guinea, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, South Africa, and Senegal. And you know what? I saw it with my own eyes. I remember we pulled up into this village and I had a bunch of pens and money, and those little kids ran up to me. They took the pens and their mothers took the money, and they were all about trying to get their education because they knew all they had ever known was being poor. And they knew, I guess they were told, that education was the way out. I don't know. Let's listen to the judge.
Don't have uniforms because they need to pay for their uniforms to go to school. And they sit on the floor because they don't have any desks for them.
Yes.
There's actually an organization called Kids in Need of Desks. And what ends up happening is people give money to that organization, so they actually make desks for the children. And now they've started making shoes for the children. And if you see the smiles on their faces just for the little things. And then here in America, you can go to school for free. And you drop out at 7th grade and commit a bunch of crimes. And now you're bringing a 2-month-old into the world, and you have no way to support that 2-month-old other than being.
I think you're about to get the Thor hammer, homie. We about to put you on them jumper cables. Maybe that'll shock you into reality.
A criminal and stealing items, that's a problem. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
This is about to go completely left. You've been warned if you're watching. Leave comments below what you think about this, but this is going left. Am I right?
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. Court has already previously taken in consideration the cases that were listed in the agreement. This is going to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 691548, 691549, 694250. Mr. Ramos, I've read the PSI with a fine-tooth comb, read the offense with a fine-tooth comb.
She ain't with it.
Took into consideration the things that the complainant said in the PSI. And I'm taking in consideration your age. I hope that you can get your life together. There's a $500 restitution to Beatrice Gonzalez, which was the deductible. Is there going to be any objection to the court ordering
I think I'm about to throw up hearing what's about to happen.
that?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right, there's to be restitution to Beatrice, Beatr.
You got to go on and straighten out Beatrice, homie. Give her them $500. And now this was about to happen to you.
IS. Excuse me, if y'all cannot talk on the back row behind the court reporter, if you
That's
need
right.
to speak, just move to the other end.
You need to go to the other end and don't be trying to interrupt me and Judge Boy, because we about to hand down some hammers, okay?
Gonzalez, Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And the amount of $500.
That's like,
I'm just checking to make sure there's no restitution to anyone else.
and we got a hot chicken.
Is that the only restitution state in the defense?
We got a hot
Money-wise, Your Honor, there was some property that was taken from the victim in this case.
This about to be a whole fried Cajun crispy chicken. A whole chicken, Cajun seasoning with some crawfish on it and a bunch of hot sauce.
Case that was never given back clothing and things of that sort. But
All right, they didn't list an amount for restitution for that.
They didn't judge.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Court is going to sentence you to 12 years in the prison.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I had to sit down. Now, we didn't give you the whole 16. We gave you after 24 hours. You got 12, folks. Let us finish reading this to you.
Give you credit for any time served. I'll ask for the therapeutic community.
We're going to give you that.
Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And I want to let you know the reason why I'm giving you the 12 years instead of the full 16 is because, one, I don't want you to 100% become institutionalized, because when people go to prison, it's a crapshoot whether or not they're going to be rehabilitated.
And we're going to show you some mercy right there. You ain't get the whole chicken, but you got 3/4 of the chicken, man.
When you go to prison at your age, there are going to be a lot of influences at the prison that are not going to be good for you. And I would love it if people would go to prison and they could just do their time and not be bothered by anyone else. But you may end up being bothered.
We would love that. But you probably going to be bothered. But you already think that you're tough. And you're a little guy. Yeah, you got a little slight hammer.
By other people. You're going to have to keep your nose down. Do not become institutionalized. And while you're there, you're going to have to start thinking more about what got you there. And what got you there is not the fact that you don't have your ID or you're running around with the bad crowd, because you're part of the bad crowd. Do you understand?
You are the bad crowd, and you got you there, boy.
Do you understand? Showing you what's in the IDA trial for the certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Them jumper cables is a mother effer. When you put your fingertips on them jumper cables and they start the car and that electricity, that voltage goes through those clamps on your fingertips, it looked like you just pop locking forever. You just body rocking. Look like your name is Mr. Waves, because them jumper cables, that's a mug right there, and you just got hooked up, folks.
Son.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal.
You don't.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. And I don't know if I said it previously, but there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and I'm going to do no contact.
Yeah, that's right.
No in-person contact.
That's right.
With minors.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Viral news source.